Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Kelley Wolfe has broken her silence, and the statement she has just released has left both fans and critics stunned. In the middle of her very public split from Scott Wolfe, Kelley has now been hit with a new charge that she says came as a complete and total shock. The words she chose in her response make it clear that she feels blindsided, and the fallout is already sending ripples through her personal and professional world. When Kelley used the words, utterly shocked, it wasn't just a casual reaction. It was an expression that captured the confusion, disbelief, and almost surreal quality of the moment. After all, no one expects to be in the spotlight for reasons like this, and certainly not while already going through the emotional strain of a separation. Her statement begins by acknowledging the pain of what she's been dealing with privately, and then pivots into the disbelief she feels about the accusation that has now gone public. She insists that the charge is baseless and completely out of line with who she is. Kelley emphasizes her values, her integrity, and the way she has always conducted herself. For someone who has spent years carefully building a reputation around sincerity and authenticity, this is more than just a legal or personal challenge. It is a test of character in front of an audience that has always looked at her as a voice of calm and grounded wisdom. Fans who have followed Kelley for years know how much she has shared about mindfulness, balance, and living an intentional life. To now see her at the center of a controversy that suggests anything but balance feels jarring. This is why her choice of words matters so much. Saying she was utterly shocked is not just about distancing herself from the charge. It is also a way of letting people know that this moment feels completely alien to her, as if she is suddenly being forced to defend herself against something she cannot even fully comprehend. What makes the timing of this situation even harder is the fact that Kelley is simultaneously navigating the emotional weight of separating from Scott Wolfe. The two shared years together, and their split already attracted attention, with questions about what went wrong and how they would move forward. Kelley's statement doesn't directly tie the charge to her split, but the overlap of these events means the public cannot help but connect them. When someone is already vulnerable, already coping with loss and change, to suddenly face another unexpected battle can feel overwhelming. The wording of her statement gives insight into that emotional reality. She describes herself as blindsided and insists that she had no prior warning that anything like this was coming. That sense of being caught off guard is part of what has made her response resonate with people. Many are taking her side, pointing out that when someone has spent years building a positive track record, it is difficult to believe that a sudden charge should erase all of that. Supporters are rallying around her online, flooding her social media with messages of encouragement and emphasizing that they believe her words. But, of course, not everyone is convinced. In situations like this, there will always be skeptics. Some people argue that no one ever admits to wrongdoing in their first public statement, and they caution against rushing to judgment either way. They want to wait and see what evidence, if any, emerges. Still, even among the skeptics, there is recognition that Kelley's tone was calm and measured. Instead of anger or lashing out, her statement leaned into vulnerability and honesty, which is exactly what her longtime followers expect from her. The larger question now is how this moment will affect both her personal life and her professional projects. Kelley has always balanced multiple roles, as a public figure, as someone connected to Hallmark audiences, as a speaker, and as a writer who has shared deeply personal insights about growth. For someone in that position, credibility is everything. If this new charge continues to shadow her, even if it is ultimately proven baseless, the perception alone can create challenges. This is the painful reality of public life. Even unfounded accusations can linger in the public imagination. In her statement, Kelley made it clear that she plans to confront this head-on. She did not hide behind vague words or attempt to sidestep the issue. Instead, she acknowledged the charge directly, expressed her disbelief, and committed herself to proving the truth. She noted that the legal process will unfold, and she has faith that once it does, she will be cleared. That type of determination suggests she is not going to retreat into silence or allow this narrative to define her without a fight. What stands out most, though, is the human side of her words. She spoke about the toll this has taken on her personally, about the heartbreak of dealing with multiple struggles at once, and about the importance of holding on to strength when everything feels uncertain. For many who have looked up to her as a source of wisdom, this makes her even more relatable. After all, it's easy to talk about resilience when life is smooth. It's another thing entirely to embody resilience when the ground beneath your feet feels like it is crumbling. The timing of her split from Scott Wolf adds an extra layer of intrigue. While Kelley focused her statement on the charge itself, many wonder whether the stress of the separation has compounded the challenges she's facing now. When two major life events collide, it is impossible to separate them completely. The emotional exhaustion from one often bleeds into how someone copes with the other. Some insiders suggest that Kelley has been leaning on close friends for support, while others hint that her family has stepped up in ways that show how much she is loved and valued outside of the public eye. Her phrasing, calling herself utterly shocked, suggests that she is still processing what this means for her future. It is not just about the immediate fallout. It is also about the long-term implications. What happens to her projects? What happens to the trust her audience places in her? These questions are impossible to answer fully right now, but Kelley's willingness to address them openly rather than pretend nothing is happening shows a level of courage that not everyone in her position would display. As for Scott Wolf, he has not issued a statement connected to this charge. The silence leaves room for speculation. Some believe he is keeping his distance intentionally, not wanting to get entangled in Kelley's legal or personal battle. Others think his silence is an indication of respect, allowing Kelley to speak for herself without overshadowing her words. Whatever the case, the lack of public support from him has not gone unnoticed, and fans of both are weighing in on whether that is appropriate or disappointing. Kelley's next steps will be crucial. She has laid the foundation by making her initial statement, but how she follows up will determine whether she maintains control of the narrative. Consistency will matter. If she continues to be transparent and continues to show vulnerability without slipping into despair, she has a real chance of weathering the storm. People are often willing to forgive or overlook accusations when they feel someone has been upfront and authentic. But if her words and actions start to diverge, skepticism could grow. There is also the issue of timing. Legal processes often move slowly, and in the meantime, public curiosity doesn't simply pause. Kelley may be forced to address the situation multiple times, each time striking a balance between defending herself and not allowing the charge to dominate her identity. This is a tightrope that many public figures struggle to walk. Say too little, and people assume the worst. Say too much, and every word becomes dissected. Kelley's experience with communication might help her here, but even for someone skilled, it will not be easy. Her supporters highlight the fact that this is happening during a season of transition. A split, a charge, a public statement, all within the same window of time. It feels like a perfect storm. And yet, storms eventually pass. What remains is whether Kelley can come out of this with her credibility intact and her sense of self unbroken. That is the narrative she seems determined to pursue. She wants to remind people that this charge does not define her, that her years of work, her values, and her integrity matter more than one shocking headline. The emotional power of her phrase, utterly shocked, cannot be overstated. It captures the essence of what it feels like to be human in a moment of crisis. It is the gasp of disbelief, the sinking feeling in the stomach, the struggle to reconcile what you know about yourself with what the world is suddenly saying about you. In a way, Kelley's words speak not just for herself, but for anyone who has ever been accused of something they know in their core does not reflect who they are. For now, her future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: Kelley Wolf has decided not to hide. She has chosen to speak, to own her narrative, and to fight for her truth. Whether that truth will be accepted by everyone remains to be seen, but her willingness to confront the moment is a powerful first step. The days and weeks ahead will test her resolve, but if her statement is any indication, Kelley is not going to let this moment break her. She is, instead, preparing to show what resilience really looks like when life delivers the unexpected blow. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.